Good morning, students. Welcome back to YouTube channel SchoolQuizz.com. As you know, my name is Danish Agarwal. As we have started our chapter number 2, that is matter around us pure, in which we have started our videos with our separating techniques, in which we have already discussed our technique, that is evaporation. Now, in our this video, we will discuss our second technique, that is centrifugation. Centrifugation, which is very important. Okay, so let's start. That is chapter number 2. Chapter number 2, that is matter around us pure. Is matter around us pure, and we will discuss our technique, that is centrifugation. As we have already know about centrifugal force, that is force which acts radially outward, It's very common technique. Like if we use our washing machine, when we will we want to dry our clothes, what we will do, we will spin it out, what gets occur, like this is our washing machine, it is our washing tub, there are like holes are present at the bottom, so just water falls like our clothes. If you see, like after spinning, our clothes gets stick gets sticks at the corners. Why it is so? Due to a technique, that is centrifugation. It when we rotate it very fast, when we rotate it very fast, our clothes get stick at the corners, and water will get separate out through the holes or through the drain pipe. Okay, so let's start with technique, that is centrifugation. Centrifugal force means which acts radially outwards, or we can write it as centrifugation, separation of colloidal particles from solution. Separation of colloidal particles from solution. That is our technique, that is centrifugation. So two components having difference in densities two components having difference in densities two components having difference in densities can be separated by centrifugation, can be separated by technique, that is centrifugation. It is based on the principle that the denser particles are forced to the bottom, and the lighter particles stay at the top when spun rapidly. That is centrifugation. When we spin it very fast, they get separate out. And centrifugal force means which acts radially outward. Okay. So next is, we can write it as a device which is used to separate liquids from solids separate liquids from solids is called centrifuge. So now we will discuss its applications of technique centrifugation. So first one I have already told you, like spinning of, or we can say that drying of wet clothes. So washing machines to squeeze out water from the wet clothes. Second one is in diagnostic laboratories. In diagnostic laboratories for blood and urine tests. For example, as we know, blood is composed of like RBCs, WBCs, platelets. So as we know that denser particles get sticks at the bottom. Like we can see that this one is our RBCs and this one is our like WBCs. This one is like our plasma. This one is our like plasma. So we can get it separate out with the help of technique, that is centrifugation. When you will go in your higher classes, you will use a device in which we will place our test tubes. In the holes of the machine, and we will spin it rapidly, and our mixtures gets sprayed out. It is like a machine in which holes are there. In which we will place our test tubes. And we will spin it rapidly. By doing this, our particles on the basis of their densities gets sprayed out. Okay. Third one is dairies and homes to separate butter from milk. Dairies and homes to separate butter from milk. As you like, it is a very old technique. When you see like this is our like like earthen pot in which we will spin it rapidly. You can see like ladies use it to get butter from the milk or get cream from the milk. When we do it very fast, the lighter part, that the cream gets covered up at the top of the milk, and we can get it separate out, and the milk is left behind. So with the help of this technique, we can separate butter from milk. As butter is a lighter part, it comes at the top and milk remains at the bottom. We will get separate out with the help of technique, that is centrifugation. So this is all about our today's topic, that is centrifugation, which is based on the difference of their densities. The particle which has the highest density gets separate at the bottom, and the lighter particles separate out at the top. So this is all about today's topic, that is centrifugation. So thank you very much, students. Thank you very much.